What's up, good people? It's your boy Hoon Boon, and this is the Hold Up Show. And today, on this Christmas Eve day, happy holidays and high spirits and vibrations to everyone who celebrates and however you celebrate. Personally, to me, I am not excited for the reason that we are celebrating. I'm more excited of the collective vibration of everyone in a high, elated mood together during such a time. And it's one of the few holidays that gets people to collectively be happy and want to spend time with family on a annual basis. But today, I wanted to talk about, because I know you guys haven't seen me in a while, you might not have been wondering, oh, this guy ain't been ranting in a couple of days. He didn't have, something to say or something to poke at, or, But for the most part, I've been trying to go within and completely understand what it is that he wants me to communicate to the world, or what is the purpose that he has laid out for me. I get up every morning and I show my absolute gratefulness, appreciation, gratitude, thankfulness for him saving my life, for him walking me through this journey and awakening abilities and giving me the knowledge of my lineage that I was unaware of at a soul and DNA level. Also to experience the past lives that my soul has journeyed on this planet Earth before it got to the being you are seeing right now. And just, taking it step by step to try to understand what exactly is being laid out in this journey or this path that I'm supposed to take.
Baggage claim area. JetBlue is waiting for customer Eugene Cho, Maggie Dunsmuir,
but the topic that I wanted to talk about
and
today,
Tasmia Khan. Please see me here at the JetBlue Baggage Service Office.
Surrender.
Once again, that's Eugene Cho, Maggie Dunsmuir, Tasmia Khan. Please see me here at the Baggage Service Office. Thank you.
What surrender means to me. Even though along this journey of once I said the words, when I first went to that park, after all that was revealed to me about these individuals and what they were and what they have done and what they were doing, and the outcome that they wanted to have for me, I had gave my life over to God, and I said, I'm surrendered to you, and whatever you want me to do, and not sure what that's going to mean or how that's going to play out, because, it wasn't the typical go to church, read the Bible, get in the scripture, stand on the corner, hand out pamphlets, shout it from the rooftops.
Attention in the terminal. Southwest Airlines is paging passenger.
Maybe
Bill Trim.
to some degree that will eventually maybe be a part of the journey. I mean, I don't think the church part, but just
Bill Trim.
the spreading of some sort of downloaded knowledge that the guardian angels, him or my ancestors may give to me through vision, through dreams, through however. So, I think this is like my third go around on this spiritual awakening journey. Trying to figure out or thinking that I've made it through and I'm now allowed to go pursue whatever it is that my heart desires as far as in this earthly realm of whatever, starting that business or pursuing particular job titles and all that. But every time that I think that it's over and I attempt to go, start pursuing that path, I get another sign, signal, or download vision says, nope, it's not what I want you to do. I want you to sit down and wait until I tell you to do something else, because it's like I was being redirected, or maybe even having my faith and obedience tested to see if it would waver, or would I attempt to turn my back on God if He made things even more difficult after revealing everything that has been revealed. And I looked at it like, once you've shown a person the day that they were supposed to die and the day that people were, constantly pouring poison in their mouth and poison in their food and poison in their drink and hoping and wondering why they kept waking up or why they
once again in the baggage claim area, JetBlue paging for customer Tasmania Khan.
I don't think it's pretty much anything that you could kind of put me through as far as a test of the Lord to see if my faith would waver. That's not to say that at times it didn't get weak, because we all are human. We all get frustrated, because we're trying to figure out the best way to live this life in His eyes, without disappointing Him, and also live fruitfully and be happy all in the same breath.
May I have your attention, please? All travelers, if any unknown
So
person
he says,
attempts to
like,
give
when
you
I said to
any
him
item,
that, I
including
surrender
luggage
to
to
whatever
transport
you
on your
want me
flight,
to do,
do not
and
accept
whatever
it
path
and
you want me
notify
to go,
airline personnel immediately.
I
Do not
meant
leave
it,
luggage
but not
unattended.
understanding
All
fully
carry-on and
what
checked
that
luggage
meant.
is subject to search.
And that meant, several times me having to pick up and leave immediately and go to destinations that He told me to go, like Miami, like LA the first time, like, or just delivering certain messages on certain days about certain individuals that needed to, you know, be told these messages to let them know that, hey, you know, whatever you're thinking is not a real thing that is transpiring
Attention
from the Heavenly
Terminal
Father.
Southwest Airlines Flight 2536 services
You know,
to El Paso,
you're going
Castellanos,
to
and
be
Houston will now be
made aware,
checking in and
or you're
departing
going
at
to be made a
PETV. Once again,
believer
this is
one way or
change on
another,
paper. Southwest
because
Airlines Flight 2536 services to El
you
Paso,
know what you
Castellanos,
were
and Houston
involved
will now be
in, you
checking
know
in and
what you
departing
were
at
doing
P18B.
as individuals and as a collective. And
Attention Terminal, we're currently boarding
those
Southwest
days
Airlines
of
Flight
reckoning
3572
for
services into
y'all,
Chicago Midway, here gate number 13.
you know,
If you're ticketed and confirmed down the staff, please represent to gate number
is
13 for
on
flight
its way.
3572
And
services into
there are
Chicago Midway.
consequences that y'all will face for as long as God sees fit, and that almost for certainly throughout this lifetime that you're living now, you're definitely it's going to be a long road for you, and maybe in a few other lifetimes after the fact, because I was told you in so many words, curse y'all bloodlines. So also, you know, just other messages and other things that he showed me that I wasn't able to maybe fully communicate through videos in the manner that he may have wanted at the time, or I don't know, like when you're in spiritual warfare, you know, you don't know when it's going to end per se. You know, you pray and you hope and you know, ask God for the relief, but it's like once you've been identified as a quote unquote chosen one, earth angel, star seed, you know, those attacks never stop. To some degree, it's not going to be a day where I may be left alone. You know, the devil is just going to operate through other people that already didn't get their souls consumed by him for failing the mission of trying to take me out the first times, or a couple of times, or whatever they were trying to do. I don't know. But maybe they should have did a little more research and a little more investigation, because you shouldn't be trying to attack anybody in that manner or on a spiritual level, to where as though you're trying to affect their mind, or affect their heart, or affect their way of making a living in this world to pursue happiness for your own personal gains. So every time that I would, you know, relay messages of him telling me to be my authentic self while also delivering all the glory to him in the same manner, you know, for saving my life, for putting me on this path, for choosing me to make people aware that God is the supreme being in all realms and all realities you seek. You know, the devil is allowed to operate here, but he is not in control. You know, it is just more or less a test of your faith, your discernment, and how you want God to view you when the day of judgment comes. And I never thought that I would be one of the individuals that would be having to deliver this message, or be in the situation
JetBlue Airways has now
that
commenced the boarding
I've had
process
to
for flight
endure or
1100
go
with
through these
76
last
Fort
couple of
Lauderdale.
years
Please make your way immediately to
unknowingly
gate
this
12,
past year
gate
of
14 for
2025.
boarding.
So when I say what does surrender mean to you, I'm saying what surrender means to me right this very second is I was being a little stubborn. I was told to come back to LA. I knew me coming back to LA that I would be on the street, in so many words, for a period of time until the clarity that he wants me to have will be revealed in the direction of how he wants me to further pursue things would show up. And I was dreading that, I just did not want to do that. I did not have a, once my funds ran out as far as me being able to be comfortable in hotels, hostels, other living arrangements that were, with warmth, food, and a bed of my own to be comfortable in. It was like I was not, enamored with wanting to go sleep on anyone's beach or anyone's street or anyone's gutter or anyone's alleyway or any sort of thing like that, right? But if you are supposed to have your ultimate faith in God and in the Lord, that, how else do you prove something like that? By other than doing what He's telling you to do. So, with that being said, I got the download to leave immediately. My car that I was, riding around, doing whatever. I was, getting money. However, I was getting money. And, I was paying people back that was helping me along the journey, making sure all my situations were straight, all my debts were cleared. Because I just don't like owing people, it's just never been a thing of mine. Or really even asking people for anything. It's just hated it, right? Just hated to do it. So, it's Saturday. I get fresh, put on a brand new sweater, brand new Levi's, crispied up the Kango, propped up all the crystals correctly, said my prayers, said my affirmations, and went to go push start, and the whole car just locked up on me, just locked up. And when it did that, I already knew exactly what that shit meant. Locked up like that. I knew that. He'd been wanting me to surrender that car. Then I was in, a living situation that was very comfortable, very gracious, you know. Didn't want for nothing, didn't need for anything. And it's told me it's so good to you, now it's time to surrender that too. They don't need to be involved in this roller coaster that you're about to go on. There's no need for you to disrupt their stability for what I'm asking you to do. So the amount of money that I had left in my account was exactly minus $3 of exactly what the plane ticket cost for me to come back to LA. And it was the only day for maybe the next month that the ticket price was going to be that price for me to get back to LA. It was I got the message. Right? I went, I packed light because I knew that I was going to be, you know, carrying this baggage, right? And I wasn't even sure if like he even wanted me to bring anything to a certain degree. Like, I almost felt like he just wanted me to just go. You got your faith, right? You're absolutely surrendered to me and know that I will provide and take care of you and you're protected. So what do you need to bring a whole bunch of stuff or anything to a certain degree, right? That's what I'm feeling. But I still made the conscious decision to at least bring at least 2 days worth of stuff, right? And some identification things, and a jacket to be in the weather, you know, stuff like that, you know, certain things to be able to wash my ass, stuff like that, you know. So, got here that same day, 1 in the morning, still throughout the day, debating, being stubborn, making sure that of what I already knew I was sure of that he wanted me to do. I didn't absolutely buy the ticket until I absolutely got to the train station. Didn't even have money to get to the airport. I called my boy. Well, I texted my boy and I asked him politely, could he send me $20, you know? Because I mean, I do have some funds coming in after Christmas or whatever, the holidays, so I can give him back his $20, but, you know. Thankfully enough, you know, he sent the $20 and I had enough to get to the airport. And mind you, just, you know. And I also asked a friend later on that day.
May I have your attention, please? All travelers, if
She sent me
any unknown person
$10
attempts to give you any item,
because there was,
including luggage to transport
I still
on your
didn't have
flight, do not accept it and notify airline personnel immediately.
but all in all, in
Leave
the
luggage
end,
unattended. All
I got
carry-on
off the
and
plane
checked luggage is subject to search.
in LA, I maybe had $6 change left to my and it was even though before then, before I even left, I didn't even get a chance to eat anything before I left. So it was like I was just already running on fumes, and I just took like a, 8-hour 2-flight trip. One from Philly to St. Louis, then from St. Louis to LA on fumes. Had a bottle of water, bottle of Aquapana before I left, that I had to hurry up and drink before I went through TSA because, just can't bring no water or anything because they want that money, you know what I mean? So I do that. Mind you, it's Saturday, so there would be nothing of local governmental services open for me to even attempt to try to get some help or resources in that way. So where did I go? I'm in the airport for a couple hours. Now, anybody knows anything about LA, mind you, I've attempted now, especially within these last 2 months, several times to just stop smoking cigarettes. Like I've already stopped smoking weed, and I haven't had alcohol in probably months. I mean, I had a beer here or there, but as far as like the way that I could drink or used to drink when I did want to partake in alcohol, I haven't done that in definitely probably all of this year, if not more.
Oh my god, it's so bad.
So, I kept failing this
Hello, this is Mayor Karen Bass. Welcome to Los
cigarette
Angeles
test,
International
due
Airport.
to certain moments and times that I would hit my own stressful or weakening of faith moments that I would just need a cigarette just to get me through or whatever. But in LA, they don't have any menthol cigarettes. They don't, ain't no menthols popping off, you know what I'm saying? It was almost like funny to me, like, it's all part of the plan, right? In the city of angels, sends his earth angel to the city of angels to make sure he starts to fully clear this vessel. But I get here and I'm still a little stressed, so I go to the next best thing. What's the next best thing? Black and Mild. So I'm up here with this Black and Mild, and I will walk the mile and something from the airport to this 7-Eleven that I already knew about. And I spend like $2.50 on this Black and Mild out of the $6 budget that I only had when I got here. Go figure, right? A third of the budget on some poison. Bet he got a kick out of that. So I'm sitting there across the street from the 7-Eleven, and I'm looking in the sky, and I'm praying, and I'm asking, and I'm wondering, how much more? What else is there in that system? Of course, probably this one. So, chill, walk back to the airport, chill there till the morning, take a little nap. I was exhausted, jet lag, all that good stuff. So then, get up and I'm gonna go back to my favorite little spot that I hang out at. And that's Santa Monica. So that's what I decided to do. I got up, and anyone knows anything with where Santa Monica is from the airport. It's not a terrible ride, you know, maybe half an hour, 40 minutes at most if you run into some traffic. But walking, it's a 4-hour walk. And I had no problem walking it because I walked it before. I just didn't walk it on a 2-day empty stomach and 2 bags of luggage and a slew of emotions, you know. So this trip didn't necessarily go as the last trip as far as the walk. It was a bit more difficult because now I'm walking, like before I was walking to the airport, I knew my destination, I knew where I was doing, I knew where I was going. This walk was in the other direction, into the unknown, standing on faith, being obedient, surrendering, doing as I'm told. Because there's just no way I'm going to piss off the man that saved my life. After I already know what he has already done and going to do to other individuals, because he showed me. For touching one of his anointed children that he hid in plain sight and didn't even make them aware that they were anointed or one of his soldiers on a mission. So start to take this walk, my body starts to break down. No sleep and no food, carrying the bags, it's just catching up, right? I make it to Marina Del Rey, which in walking terms is probably an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes away. Before, you know, my calves is just locking up, shoulders from switching back from side to side, it's just gone. My lower back from the book bag I had, just giving out or just barking at me. So I sit down, you know, by the marina where the boats is at, I'm looking at the dude throw the ball to his dog and all that. And, you know, start seeing angels in the sky, start seeing ancestors, and start seeing my protection that's been watching over me, guiding over me this whole time. Out of nowhere, a gentleman just appeared. Could he pray for me? Just, I don't even know where this guy came from. Apparently he came from the parking lot, but you know, he wasn't nowhere to be around when I decided to sit down, take a break, and start looking at the sky. And I was, yes, of course course you can pray for me. Of course. Come on. So he prays for me, you know, and we sit and we have a conversation about God, and about finding purpose, and he was heavily aware and versed in scriptures, his interpretation of how God was speaking to him, or what he was taking away from those scriptures that, you know, made sense to him. And, you know, I was telling him somewhat of, you know, it was great to meet him. It was sort of a surprise. God literally sent me here, and maybe he sent you to me to, you know, give me some faith, give me some strength to continue on. Just give y'all a view of, you know, where I'm talking. So I'm still in the airport. So yeah, I'm just letting it out around massive people, massive strangers. Somewhat hearing my journey and what I got to say. Like, doesn't matter, you know. This is I'm surrendered to God. He told me to do this, and I'm doing it. So part of telling this story is just part of telling this story. It doesn't matter who's around or what's going on. It has to happen, right? So yeah, he prayed for me, you know, we exchanged numbers, you know. He's on his own path, you know what I mean? And, you know, I got some information from him as far as, like, you know, where some resourceable things are at, like where I can charge my phone and other stuff, you know. And, yeah, so he went on his way, and I started off back on my walking to get to where I was trying to go. So many words, you know, I make it to Santa Monica, tired, beat down, sore all over, no destination, intentions to sleep on the beach. That's where I was going to be. Not knowing that it was freezing, and it's continually going to be freezing and raining for the next 5 to 6 days after the day I arrived.
That I couldn't tell you.
Hey, whatever. What can you do, right?
We don't.
Doing what he told me to do is rain, sleet, or snow. That's what's going to happen. So I'm sitting in this park in Santa Monica, and I'm immediately being harassed by police. They want to know my name, ask me what I'm doing, they're looking at my
May I
bag.
have your attention, please?
Mind you, there's other
All
homeless
travelers,
people around
if any
that
unknown
look
person
way
attempts
worse
to give you
than what I
any
got
item,
going on,
including
right?
luggage to
Like,
transport on your flight,
I mean, like
do
that
not
matters,
accept
but
it
it's just,
and notify airline
you know,
personnel immediately.
if
Do not
anything, I
leave
would look
luggage
like someone who's
unattended.
just
All carry-on and checked luggage is subject to search.
waiting on a hotel room to open, or, you know, or waiting to catch a cab to go back to the airport because my trip is over or something. They just didn't look at it like that. They just must have smelt the homelessness on me, like. I just thought that was just hilarious. So I had this interaction, and he's like, I give up information that I normally wouldn't give up because really, I mean, I don't have nothing to hide. You want to have a conversation with me, officer? Let's do it. In the midst of that conversation, he decided that he wanted to give up resources, Hey, you go here to the Salvation Army. This is over here on this block, this address. Here, you can go to this other place over here. This block, this address. They'll be willing to help you out. At least start to point you in the right direction to help you out. Blah, blah, blah. It was a productive and knowledgeable conversation, even though it was borderline harassment from the beginning, right? But it probably was. We're talking about Guy here. Probably all part
Attention,
of the
terminal
plan.
paging passenger Traylon Adams. Traylon Adams, if you are in the gate area, please come back
Because
to
I
customer
guess
service podium 1315. Once again,
cracking
paging
down
passenger
on
Traylon Adams,
homelessness
please
being
come back
in
to
certain
customer
areas
service podium
and trying to
1315.
discourage, people being on the beach all types of the day, and whatever, right? So neither here nor there, my night was still spent on the beach. And that first night, it was rough. It was rough. It was definitely way colder, way windier than I ever remember it being in the summertime, when the temperatures dropped in the summertime. Mind you, I have on more clothing, more heavier jacket, or more insulated jacket, scarves, things that I didn't have the first go around, because I was kind of prepared, or I thought I was prepared, even though I packed up quickly as I could, not really thinking resourcefully of everything that I should have bought. I would have bought a blanket and pillow and other things of that nature with me, but if this is a walk on faith and surrender, I shouldn't need those things, right? Because the Lord thy Father will provide all that. And that's the vibration and the power of my faith that I should be having. And I've gathered that strength throughout this year of all the many journeys that He sent me on, and all the outcomes that have arisen from some of the times of my faith being shaken or weakened in the midst of some sort of outcome I wasn't expecting, or some sort of solution not arising fast enough to my liking, even though it felt like He was just testing. So I make it through first night, I spent most of that morning, asking the spirit guides, asking the ancestors for help, asking them for direction, asking them for purpose, for clarity, and they're telling me, hold on. It'll come when it's meant to come. You just need to hold on. Won't be long now. Just hold on. And it's like, Heavenly Father, guardian angels, angelic ancestors, grandparents, Yeshua El. It has been a very long time, several months of this battle, if not years, that I unknowingly was battling, but feeling all the symptoms of the battles. have I not shown enough faith?
This is the
Have
last
I
call for
not-
JetBlue Flight 424 with service to John F. Kennedy Airport. All ticket and confirmed customers, please proceed to gate 12A. Once again, this is the last call for JetBlue Flight
Fought enough?
424 with service to John F. Kennedy Airport. All ticket and confirmed customers, please proceed to gate 12A. Doors will be closing shortly after this
It wasn't
announcement.
about that, you know, because it's almost like my higher self stepped right in and said, you chose this. You came here for this. And I had to think about it like, yeah, that sounds like some shit that I would pick up. The longest, hardest, toughest battle, you know, just to be the one to clean it up, just to say that I cleaned that up. Like, it just sounds like something I would do. Like, even though it wasn't like the me that you see right now, but it was the me that you see right now. It's just, you know, when you go on that journey, you know, you become unknowing of what you're sent here to do. You just, you know, you pick the mission and all that, but then you get sent unknowingly, almost like Total Recall, you know, like you pick your parents and the family and the situation and the curses you're supposed to clean up and the bloodlines you're supposed to affect or liberate or put to the test, and then you get thrown into the infant, your soul ascends into the infant and into
Your
the
attention,
vessel,
terminal
and
districts as of 8
voila,
announcement
you're on
flight
your journey,
number
and
1456 with service to
some
Oakland.
doctor smacking
Your
you
new
on
gate
your
is
ass,
11
and
Alpha.
now you're off
Once
on your
again,
way
flight number 1456 with service to Oakland. Your new
without
gate
a
is
clue
11A.
of what's going on.
11A is an apple. Thank you.
You just, you be you, be righteous, and be loving. And, you know, that's how I tried to live my life, you know. to the best of my abilities, and only give out smoke once smoke was given to me. Whether that be morally, physically. I mean, that was the only two realms I know. I didn't know about getting anybody smoke spiritually
Yeah, second floor.
or mentally, I guess.
She's in the wrong terminal.
So, you know, finally make it to the Salvation Army. They were closed that day. Finally make it the next day. People there were very helpful, very resourceful. A lot of directions to handle a lot of things as far as like to make a transition, a more permanent, sustainable one. So shout out to them. Also got a bag of grub, you know. Appreciative for that. And I got back on my 1-2 step back to the beach. Mind you, it's colder than the day before at this very time. And I'm thinking about that beach, and I'm thinking about other ways to try to accommodate this so I could acquire shelter, acquire something to lay my head comfortably. So, do all that.
10:32.
Back at the beach. Mentally, physically preparing for another night on the beach. That night was a little better. I mean, I was a little more mentally and physically prepared for the wind, even though it wasn't as windy as the day before. It was just about, but it was turned down a little.
Which is an honor, but it's also not a good thing.
I don't take more than I need, so I used what I used from the Kit Kat to get the ticket. And ordered the balance of the Kit Kat. The little munchkin that was around. And, found me a spot. It wasn't really no
Attention in the terminal. Attention in the terminal. Halabaj, please return to your TSA checkpoint for a lost item.
It wasn't really no one
Halabaj,
around.
please return to the TSA checkpoint for a lost item.
This part of the beach that I was on at the time, so I took it down kind of early, like 6 o'clock. So it was still warmly conflicted around that time.
Your attention in the terminal, this is a lane change announcement, flight number 1456 for service to
Alright.
Oakland. Your new gate is gate 11A. Once again, your new gate is gate 11A for Oakland 1456. Thank you.
So yeah, I'm saying all this to say that clearly he wants me down to the bare bones of surrender. Prove to me that you are fully invested in surrendering to me and what I want you to do as my earth angel, as my star seed, as my chosen one. So we are now on day 3 or 4, day 3 of no food, no money, no shelter other than the airport. Few resources that I got from Salvation Army. Was able to hit a gym, get a shower in, get a workout in, even though I had zero energy, but still felt like I needed to get a nice session in. And standing on faith, not knowing what's next, not knowing what's to come, not knowing what other download or what other situation, circumstance, coincidence,
May I have your
synchronicity
attention, please?
that is
All travelers,
supposed to
if
or
any unknown
may
person attempts
come
to
across
give you
my
any
path
item, including luggage to transport
that
on
may
your
give
flight,
me that
do not
clarity that I'm
accept
looking
it
for,
and
that
notify
may
your
point
line
me another
personnel
step
immediately.
in the
Do
direction
not
or
leave
towards
luggage
that clarity or
unattended.
seeing
All
what's
carry
going
on
on.
and checked luggage is subject to search.
Just doing what it do. It is what it is, right? So I'm gonna end it here. Give y'all another update, I guess, in a few more days of whatever, and see where we go from there. far as like what's going on, because clearly, like, he had me on this mission so that people, humanity as a whole, or as individuals, could know that God is supreme being. He is the one that you should be fully invested in, have full faith in, have full trust in, to guide, lead, give knowledge, give wisdom, and keep your faith in. So, it's your boy Homebone. This is another segment of the Hold Up Show. What does surrender mean to you? And are you ready and willing if he gave you the call? Peace.